Dota 2 together.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got technically Game 3 of the day, but only our second match. It's Cloud9 versus Relax. This is the big one today. This is the match that actually matters, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, Cloud9 lose this game, and they're eliminated, right?
If they lose this game, well, actually, let's take a look at the grid. That makes it a little easier to understand. If Cloud9 wins this one, this is their last game, so with this victory, they'll be 11-4. And that puts them in a good position to make it into the top 4, as we talked about. It'll be in their hands. There's
if they win, they control their own destiny.
Yeah, if they win, like kind of a pretty common scenario here will probably be they'll have to fight against Na'Vi for a potential tiebreak, or they'll have to fight against Alliance. If Na'Vi win all of their games remaining, then the top 3 will be Empire, Roxkiss, Na'Vi, and it will be Cloud9 versus Alliance for that 4th seat. So there are some potential. That the only thing that is 100% sure is if Cloud9 lose this match, say goodbye to your chances of making the top 4.
Yeah, if they lose and Na'Vi loses one game, then they just don't go. Alliance goes, and it looks like if they lose, weird scenario, but I think that was with Sigma like winning the game that they were supposed to play that got forfeited, so I don't think that scenario actually exists anymore.
Okay.
So basically, if they lose, I think they just don't go.
Yeah,
I think that's the upshot.
To have a chance to go, they have to win this game, and if they lose, then their chances have pretty much evaporated.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy favorites here, and actually might be appropriate to look at Dota 2 Lounge and see what the bets.
I would say it should be like 70-30, 75.
Well, the bets are a little bit on par with that. 77 in favor of Cloud9, 23 for Relax.
I can get behind that.
I can get behind that as well. I think that's within the realm of reason. But let's go ahead and hop into our draft here, LD. We got Cloud9 with first pick, and they're going to snag themselves a Luna.
Cloud9 on the Radiant side, Relax on the Dire.
Do I have it backwards? Oh, gosh, I have it backwards.
Dude, I still haven't figured that out. I just run it, and then if it's wrong,
I have a general idea, but they actually swapped sides. Cloud9 were originally on the Dire, so...
so see, you know what you're doing.
Well, it's opposite here. Like, according to this overlay, Cloud9 is on the right side, so I know if you look at the top of the screen, it's always opposite. So if Cloud9 is actually on the left, then you want them to be labeled as right in the overlay system. So
what?
It's backwards. I know, it's weird. I don't know how left and right translate to Radiant and Dire. It's just not a good...
whatever.
Not a good use of directional phrases, but... Cloud9, they start off with the Luna, and an interesting first pick. She's really fallen off in popularity, so there.
She was their go-to carry. They are. I looked at the stats for just like general Luna, and Cloud9 is like a solid like 25% of all Luna picks over the past few weeks. So maybe not quite that high, but they're definitely like at least 10 to 20% of the total Luna picks, and that's across all regions. Most teams are not running that hero as a carry, but it's a hero Cloud9 like to run. They like to run AUI on a jungler, normally the Chen, and Luna synergizes very well with the junglers like that. You can push towers early. It's a good farmer to be a little bit more greedy with, and at the same time, though, Luna in the mid game needs her BKB to fight, usually. And Eternal Envy just does not like going BKB, but I mean, you're up against a lot of chain stun here already, so...
Yeah.
A lot of Cloud9 strengths are just built around like getting that early tower gold advantage, though, and these two heroes definitely suit that. So it's like classic Cloud9, basically.
Yeah, it really is. You see them draft these two heroes in tandem as their opener pretty frequently, like you were talking about, that early pushing synergy with the aura and the creeps, and it all just kind of works well together. You're also right about Luna, though. She does kind of fall off in that mid-game, and that's where she really needs a lot of room to farm, and RX already have a pretty good draft to try and deal with limiting the amount of space Luna has. Batrider once he gets the early blink, and of course Nyx Assassin, well, rest assured he'll be roaming around once he hits level 6 trying to make Luna's life a little more difficult. Now what's really interesting here is that third ban from Cloud9. They actually ban out the Wraith King, which is an interesting change of pace. We've seen him picked up a little bit here and there, and I guess if there's a team to do it, it's RX. They like to go off the wall with
Dread
their picks
is just like a clowny kind of drafter. Like we saw Fnatic pick some weird stuff for fun, but Relax will do that in games that matter. So certainly not afraid to do it. They are on the Dire side. They could go for Roshan quite early potentially, but they don't really have a great level 1 Roche lineup as of yet, so I wouldn't be overly scared of the Wraith King, but they'll ban it out. Maybe angling for a Doom. That's the other main reason to ban Wraith King, potentially. Is Wraith King the Doom counter.
Yeah.
Although usually I feel like with Wraith King, it's like you can just ignore that hero.
Yeah, he's
just so easily kited and locked down. Even if you give the hero 6 rapiers and potentially he doesn't do anything with them in a fight.
Over the past couple of weeks, I've seen 1 or 2 support Wraith Kings, and we saw a carry Wraith King, and really all of them were just lackluster. The few games I've seen him win, it's been those kind of scenarios where really any carry in his stead would have been able to do something similar or even better. He does have a really good slow, though. That Wraithfire Blast, or a really good stun. It stuns and then has the slow, so it is a pretty powerful ability, but that's about it. Other than that, he's just walking around.
You've played a little World of Warcraft, right?
More than a little, yeah.
Okay. Because like in those games where you have like a tank and their job is to like draw aggro, like everyone's like supposed to focus the tank.
Yeah.
Wraith King's a tank, like you definitely don't want to focus him with the slow, except he has no way to make people focus him.
Yeah,
like Axe has Berserker's Call.
Right.
Axe does a decent amount of damage early to mid-game. Wraith King just generally you can just ignore him. He's a tank that can't force people to aggro.
He has some serious positioning issues. That Blink Dagger Wraith King is almost like the way
almost
you
mandatory.
have to play him. Yeah, because he can't get in the fight. He's
it used to be before TI2 team complexity, which was like the old like Liquid or like the current Liquid. A lot of the guys that were on that team, Fluff. You had Hannah Montana, TC, IX Mike, so forth and so on. And they would run a lot of Wraith King. He would always go 4-staff first. Yeah. They would do like these kind of 5-man semi-push strats, but
and they would run him as a carry or a support.
It was like it was a farmer, but not as like a hard carry. It's like a take fights early and often with the extra life and just use him to initiate. And then he uses his ult and comes back and fights again. But
he can be a little bit annoying, but alas, Relax will grab Doom with their 3rd pick, and Cloud9 they respond with Venge. So it looks like Cloud9 are gearing up for more of an aura-based strat here between the Luna and the Vengeful Spirit. Chen can grab some aura-based creeps, and I have a feeling that they're going to be looking to knock down some towers here pretty early on.
Yeah. As for Cloud9, they'll be looking probably for Sing Sing's hero. 2 options are Invoker and Mirana. Invoker, both heroes pretty well dealt with by Relax's lineup, and tons of lockdown, but I think Cloud9 needs some crowd control, so I'm leaning a bit towards the Invoker, who normally would have been banned by this point.
Nice Quas Wex and
they'll go Beastmaster.
Well,
okay.
That does work, and more auras there with the Inner Beast, and that steals some of their
this is a scary aura stack. It also gives them just a good counter to Batrider initiation. Now they have the Venge swap to break the lasso. They also have the send back to help keep teammates alive, and they have the roar when Batrider jumps in. So Bat on his own will have a tough time initiating this game.
Yeah, and the Chen sendback is actually pretty powerful against Doom. Not quite a counter pick. They picked the Doom into the Chen, but it's one of those things where it sort of works both ways, where yes, Chen can keep the Doom target alive, but you also send him back to the well. So if you doom someone like the Luna, maybe she survives, but she's still not in the fight, and that's basically what Doom's trying to achieve anyhow.
Yeah, you need those BOTs and something to... Well, I guess you'll have the Chen creeps to TP too, but yeah, something to arrive at.
I guess it's still better for Chen's team for the most part. Your carry stays alive instead of dying, but definitely not an ideal scenario.
Doom just a very good hero for like winning team fights. Sure, he doesn't have AoE, but you doom somebody, it's 5v4, no matter what you do.
Yeah. Now, per usual with Enchantress, I think Relax are going to have a lot riding on the back of this Enchantress early on. If she has some successful ganks, maybe if she roams towards the mid lane, harasses Sing Sing a little bit, and is pretty active, then maybe Relax can pick up some momentum and kind of snowball a little bit, but I could very easily see the opposite of that coming true, where if Enchantress has a couple of failed smoke ganks early on, maybe Cloud9 knock down that their safe lane, that tower, the opponent's off lane. I could see them picking up some momentum and just snowballing out of control with all of these auras once they... between that like level 8 to 12 mark, and just really picking up a lot of momentum, while Doom is still trying to come online, and maybe Batrider's still trying to farm up his blink.
Yeah, Relax have great gank, but they don't have much counter push, and that's a concern. Their best counter push is to push the other side of the map with the Enchantress, so I think they should just look to tower trade if Cloud9 start taking towers. They may not be able to trade quite as quickly, though, because Cloud9 have not only the jungle here on the Chen, but they also have the aura stack, so they'll go Bristleback here. Decent hero to slow down the push. You can aggro the creep wave pretty effectively with Quills, but if you walk in range to Quill, then Luna can Lucent Beam you. Maybe you get like Troll Trapped, Stunned, Venge Stunned.
Not sure how I feel about this, though. That means Nyx Assassin is going to be in more of a position 4 type role with Bristle in the off lane. Well,
They did need like someone who can just run in and soak up damage though. Doom can't really do that until later on in the game, and Cloud9 are going to be fighting and pushing early. So
very true.
Bristle, a very naturally tanky hero. This will put the Doom probably in a one position role. But yeah, I do worry about the Nyx's level progression for Dread, and Relax are going to need to be efficient early on, because you know AUI will be. He's not going to be... He's very unlikely to be pressured. I guess the one X factor here for Relax is maybe they even go aggressive, but if they did, they'd be going aggressive with a double melee tri-lane, so I don't see that happening. Most likely they'll just be trading farm, and they'll just have to be efficient, stack for the Batrider with the Nyx, Enchantress will need to be farming quite a bit, and as soon as Cloud9 go for a tower trade, Relax need to be looking to do the same.
So who's going mid for Relax here? That's my big question. Like, how are they going to set up these lanes? They do have a stand-in, by the way. Triv is here in the place of Tame My Wild. That's kind of what makes these lanes even more difficult to read.
Normally, I would just say Bat off lane. Well, actually, no, I'd say Bat mid, Doom safe lane, and Bristleback off lane. That's my guess. But.
Yeah, that probably makes the most sense.
We'll find out in a second.
Yeah.
The other thing for Cloud9 is it will be a Bone 7 Beastmaster, and I think very important for Relax this game from strategic point of view is keeping the Ancients warded or blocked. Whether they send Enchantress creeps there, whether they actually ward it, they do not want to let a team with Beastmaster. All of these heroes really. Beastmaster, Venge, and Luna, all very good at clearing off the Ancients, and you can see Cloud9 are already looking just to guard them, ensure they don't get warded. Actually, maybe just going into the enemy woods even. Yeah, they're going to try and ward off the Enchantress's jungle, and looks like Relax will be doing the same.
Yeah, no, who's carrying the wards here? Actually, are they going to ward too much? They've got a couple of observers.
Yeah, Pylai has some.
No sentries, though.
They could look to put them in some unusual places. There's like a spot, I think, on the cliff you can put one in. Yeah, we'll see what Pylai does.
Okay, so not super unusual. We'll block this camp, though, the hard camp here. And, uh-oh, Owie, he could be in some trouble. Sticky Napalm is stacking up. There's the Sticky Goo coming out of the Bristleback, but... Wow, he'll make it back to the Tier 2 tower, and that's a little bit unfortunate. They forced the Bristle to skill Viscous Goo at level 1, not ideal. And for the Batrider, Sticky Napalm level 1 isn't the end of the world, but generally Firefly is how you want to start, so...
Yeah, well, if he's going mid, Sticky Napalm's fine for mid, but yeah, Firefly, if he was off-lane, that would be a big problem. So, Relax, actually, maybe they do look to go aggressive here. They have established, like, they've gotten control of the enemy woods. They're also going to block off this camp, so... Shutting down AUI, very important when he's playing Chen. Both teams just want to shut down the enemy jungler, and I guess the main thing is who's going to get the first creep camp. Although Relax they'll give up their high ground position just for a second here, and you can see Cloud9, they're just going to send the Venge, and they do not want to let Relax take over their jungle. Yep. If they let them take it over, this could go very poorly.
Dread skills the Impale level 1, does connect onto Owie. There's a magic missile from Pylai Die onto Wind X. Haste Rune is on the Enchantress, so they need to be a little careful here. Chen will make it back into tower range, and Windex won't pursue, but a little bit of a close call.
This is really good positioning for Relax, because they blocked off the enemy big camp, so AUI can't get a creep here, and they'll be able to take this camp first. Then again, he could just take the creep back, so it's like, well, it's a good start, but AUI is probably hoping that Relax have taken a creep over. He's going to actually take over Satyr Mindstealer. That mana burn.
Yeah. And
it's annoying. It is very annoying. Like, this is a good counter jungle creep. Just get rid of their mana, and what are they going to do?
Yeah, now Enchantress will grab the big Centaur and just starts jungling away. They're not going to make this easy for Windex, but Dread won't give them the engage they're looking for. Connects with an Impale and Pylai Die. This could be your first blood, and it is. Windex on the Enchantress secures the kill. And now Cloud9, they're going to lose control of their own jungle here.
So the issue for Cloud9 is since they went aggressive into the enemy woods, they never got wards up in their own woods. So they didn't know Dread was hiding in this camp. Normally you would see some teams have like potentially a lane ward. They might have a ward in their own jungle, like over here, and instead they just have nothing. So
they've got, well, they do have one right here, and it's on top of the dire woods.
Right, so, which they also just placed after Relax had already been all over the woods.
Doesn't give you much intel and context to that engage, though.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Pylai Die shouldn't have really been leading there. They should let the Satyr scout things out, but like he didn't expect Dread just to be hiding in the trees. So
yeah.
Staying in the trees, apparently a good strategy.
Sometimes it works out.
Twitch chat always knows best.
Yeah.
I just want to mention, as there's a smoke gank mid, that this is a great magic stick game for Cloud9 because they're sticking Napalm and as well as Bristlebacks, Goo, and Quills. But they are going in mid.
There's the magic missile. The leap forward, Starstorm. Do they have enough damage, though? I don't think they do. Chen doesn't have a creep here.
Did he get the double Starfall proc?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was actually not looking when the gank started, so.
Yeah, I saw the Solar Storm. I didn't see the second star come out onto the Batrider, so I believe not. Aoi will grab the 2-minute rune. It is an invisibility, and he'll rotate into the dire jungle. For now, let's check out these camps, and really not ideal. Alpha Wolves and some hill trolls here. They don't have their big dark summoner.
And what's worse is the Doom ate the big creep. So
yeah.
So this is just not going well for Cloud9. Off to a pretty bad start.
Yeah,
and look at Envy. Envy's trying to turn the jungle around, but he walks into 2.
And he could maybe be in a bit of trouble here. Dread, maybe Dread's the one in trouble. He won't have another Impale for 5 seconds, and that's a kill going the way of Luna. So Pylai rotates in, and that'll tie it up 1-1 here as we approach the 3-minute mark. It is a battle for this Radiant jungle.
That was really good movement by AUI, though. They know they need some help to take back the woods. Level 3 Luna already quite strong in those small skirmishes, and Nick's not level 2. If he had a point in Carapace, might have been able to turn that fight by Carapace dodging the Venge stun, but without it, it ends up going well for Cloud9. So I really like AUI's early movement. I also like, Envy's early movement, and I also like AUI's movement because after they gave up First Blood, they were never going to win in a jungle war, especially not against Enchantress, so they just abandoned the woods, and now he'll just be looking to set up a kill mid.
Yeah, now Sing Sing is doing a pretty good job in the mid lane here. 7-1 versus the 12-0 Batrider played by Shotchlo. Ali will come down from the high ground, but unfortunately he's only found himself an Alpha Wolf, so that won't do too much in the way of setting up a gank here on this Batrider. In the other lanes, how's the top going? Bone 7 on the Beastmaster. He's level 5 and a very interesting build. 2 points in Inner Beast already, so that tells me they're gearing up for these aura pushes, and we'll see a 5-man come out from Cloud9 sooner rather than later. Usually at least a value point, and the Call of the Wild is something that we see early on just for scouting purposes, but Bone 7, he's feeling brave up here.
Yeah, sometimes, normally if players want to get Call of the Wild and Inner Beast, they'll take like 1 point Inner Beast, they'll take 1 point Axes, and they'll just start taking multiple points in Call of the Wild, because level 1 Call of the Wild is pretty shit. Yeah. You want to at least get the Greater Hawk, but, and the Greater Boar is not as important.
Or at least get the Lesser Boar, I guess.
Yeah, you want to get the Lesser Boar and you want to get the Greater Hawk. Those are the 2 big things. The Greater Boar, not so important.
So level 1 and level 4 of that skill, not the most useful, but 2 and 3, that's where the value's at.
Exactly. The interesting thing is also that he went Phase Boots, and not something you generally see from Beastmaster players. Normally you get an early bottle, but looks like he's just worried about getting ganked and wants to have the extra mobility to try and live.
And especially against Doom with Scorched Earth, looks like Doom's going to be going for Phase Boots as well. Now that he's level 6, I guess just wants to have that movement speed and make sure he can.
Yeah, you know, one thing I'm surprised about, Andrew, is I think Ancients are very important for both teams, but neither team has warded the enemy Ancients. Beastmaster maybe was going to make a move to stack it, but actually it looks like he expected to relax the smoke gank, because if you look on the map right now, they don't have any real vision aside from this ward, and was trying to just dispel any potential smoke coming his way by standing over here, but yeah, doesn't end up finding anyone. So
nice heads-up play, but Windex, he is now only level 2 and just about to hit level 3. Might hit it after this camp, but this Enchantress is actually struggling a little bit. Shen, actually in an equally difficult position here, just about to hit level 3. So there's the theory of mutual destruction, where that early game just kind of hurt both junglers, and now both sides are stuck with these under-leveled and under-farmed junglers who are just trying to play catch-up mode at this point.
Yeah, and then it comes to the question of like whose mid-game is going to be stronger, and for me, I think it's a little bit early to tell. Doom has already hit level 6. If Yoki can start setting up kills, that would be huge for his team. They have not used the Enchantress yet to push, though, so if you're just trading farm an Enchantress and Chen, generally you go into the mid-game, the team at the Chen's going to have a big edge. By the way, Bone 7 just TP'd in mid. He smoked up immediately, and he's looking for Shachlo.
Yep. Shotchlo could be in some trouble here. He is level 6, does have a lasso available, but he'll grab a haste rune.
Oh, that's just bad luck. They did not have any wards top runes. They didn't know what the rune was. If that's a different rune, they probably get that kill.
Yep. And there is actually a smoke on the side of RX now. Dread as well as Windex are smoked up, and they're looking to cut off Aoi 2000. He'll get punished for this aggressive positioning, and surprise, surprise, as he makes it to the low ground, Impale on the mark. There's a shockwave, and
he steals the Centaur. He stomps the other way. Windex didn't get the stop off in time. The huge plays from AUI.
Wow, and the Moonlight Shadow to boot. And that creates some space, and down bottom, this tower taking heavy pressure. I don't think they'll be able to finish it off, but big Chen plays coming out right there.
And Windex just need to use the stomp on the Centaur sooner. While AUI was already Nyx impaled, couldn't steal it during that time, and just got a little greedy. So great play by AUI, but definitely a misplay by Windex as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of those just.
That's just a good presence of mind play.
Yeah.
There was a play at, I think it was before, it was at the TI3 group stages where Fluff and Stuff was playing Rubik. He stole like enchant, or maybe it was the Chen creep stealing Holy Persuasion, and then he stole a creep in the middle of the fight, stomped the enemy. It was like an enemy creep, like an enemy centaur. Stole it, used it to stomp an opponent, and got a kill with it. So
Jesus.
yeah, those in the moment plays, AUI definitely delivering here.
Yeah. Now in the mid lane, Mirana still doing pretty well against this Bat Rider, up by a few last hits. 42 on the Mirana actually, and only 33 on the Bat Rider. So Sing Sing having a good time in the mid per usual, has himself his phase boots complete. And Bat Rider, the problem with Bat in the mid lane is he just doesn't farm quite as much, and he can't just easily retreat into the jungle because you don't really want to leave that Mirana to free farm in the mid. So his blink, not too fast, but not too slow either. 8 minutes with about 1,100 gold. Doing okay. He will actually grab that invisibility rune. The Dark Troll Summoner was there looking for the deny, but...
Yeah, Sing Sing's just out-CSing him hard, though. Already phase boots up, now has the Reign of Aquila. And you look at Sing Sing's damage at that point, it's like 80, 90. You need a lot of napalm stacks to keep up with that.
Yeah.
And, well, actually it's more like 90 to 100, I guess.
Yeah.
But what Relax should probably look to do now, put the Bat in the jungle, just let him start farming stacks and get his blink. You can rotate the Nyx mid. There's no pressure top. Oh, mid lane.
Yep. Bat Rider in big trouble. They even put down a Sentry Ward as he had the invisibility rune, and all in all, just a solid gank. Bone 7 using that Primal Roar to start things off, and pretty easy from there.
But yeah, they should just let the Nyx get the levels mid and put the Bat in the jungle to farm his blink, because he'll get it faster there anyway. Like you're saying, it's... Yeah, mid lane, you're trying to contest a Mirana who now has 100 damage or so with the Reign of Aquila once it gets delivered, so... I would like to see them just adjust the lanes, plus the Nyx needs level 6 soon, because Dread not getting a ton right now.
And in the top lane, Bone 7 will pour it in. I thought Yoki may look for an engage with the Doom ultimate, but doesn't go for... doesn't go for it. While that gank was happening in the mid, a little bit of space creation, and Cloud9 were able to finish off that bottom tier 1 tower. So they kill the mid hero, get a tower, and they've got themselves a cute little gold lead here, about 1,500 in their favor, and the experience graph pretty comparable, about 2,000 experience edge going the way of Cloud9. So they're in pretty good shape to get things started here, and maybe a few more minutes farming up whatever core items they need. We may see a little bit more of the 5-man death ball of Cloud9 assemble and start to utilize these auras. Eternal Envy did go for the Helm of the Dominator after Power Tread, so hopefully we'll see these Ancients start to get stacked, which that is one thing Cloud9 have not done at all. Still just these Granite Golems that started off the game.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see teams that have a jungler will use one of the jungle creeps to stack, but AUI, as you mentioned, did get shut down quite hard this game. He's done alright catching up. Not particularly well, but, you know, he's kept up with the Enchantress, I guess, is the main thing.
Yep, they're both level 4.
Whereas Cloud9 have warded the enemy Ancients, but they kind of warded them late. Already, Triv has farmed, it looks like the majority of a triple stack, so... Yep. Pretty good for this team as well. Relax will now have a Vanguard. Can look to fight, but if it just stays in a passive farming state, I definitely favor Cloud9 here. If you're Relax, you have Doom, you have a Nyx, you want to be setting up kills at this stage of the game, and a Bat with a blink. Well, who you want to have a blink, but does not farmed it yet. He's had some bad luck. Golems over here, and just also the Enchantress needing the woods has really slowed him down.
Yeah, and at first it seemed like, well, maybe he can recover and move into the jungle, but there weren't any big stacks waiting for him, which is a pretty common strategy you see with Bat Rider. Now he's level 8, and only 1,300 gold in the bank at about the 11-minute mark, and I mean, a good farm for a Bat Rider. You can have that blink before 10 minutes pretty easily, so really slowing down the potential aggression Relax can put out. Sing Sing will go ahead and stack the Ancient for the first time here as it rolls over to the 11-minute. And that is good news for Cloud9, Aoi 2000. Maybe they'll just wait for that Hand of God before they really start pushing. That is a pretty key facet to their strategy, and they might be waiting for the mech as well. Aoi with 1,600 gold, and just on brown boots at the moment, still hanging on to a ward. So he could be saving up for just a fast mech.
Yeah, at this point, Relax, they'll wait for the Bat Blink, they'll wait for the Nyx level 6, and at that point, they should be going. Doom's gone for mid-game items, early drums, even the Oov for the safe lane, and Bristleback going Vanguard. They are not gearing up for late game. They would have some trouble there anyway, so within the next 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, Relax should definitely be looking to force the team fights, take the pressure to Eternal Envy, because if you don't do it now, he's going to have, I don't know, either the Manta style, the BKB. BKB is not very good this game, so I think that there's a legitimate case of just skipping BKB. You're up against Doom and Lasso.
Yeah,
but they don't want to let him sit back and farm. They should apply pressure within the next 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, the only thing BKB is really going to help against is that Nyx Assassin, and that seems like not quite a big enough threat to warrant the massive cost of a BKB. But they've given EE quite a bit of space. He is number 2 on the net worth chart, a little bit behind that of the Doom. That's the Devour kicking in, giving him a small edge. EE did not opt. Whoops, I didn't really mean to go into roleplay mode there. EE did not opt for a Midas, so not farming as quickly as he could have, but I don't think he'll be too upset with the way his farm is going.
Dominator is like a slightly less greedy version of Midas, though, because it transitions well into an item that helps later on. It lets you go jungle. You never have to go base. With the lifesteal, and you can also use it to stack, which improves your economy. So it's still kind of a greedy item.
Oh, arrow in the mid lane, just off the mark, whizzes between Wind X and Dread, but Owie 2000, he has come online. He'll be level 6 in just about 2 more creep kills. Maybe this one will actually be enough. Yep, there you go, and he's pretty darn close to that mech, just less than 100 gold away. So Cloud9 have the tools that they need to start making some pushes happen.
I'm really surprised that in a game with Beastmaster, Mirana, Doom, Batrider, and Nyx, there's been 3 kills.
In 13 minutes.
Yeah, and all of them in the laning stage. You could see Cloud9 are content with just farming, but it's Relax who really want to be forcing the issue. They do have Blink on Shadeslow now. He's smoked up bottom, but are they going to find him? Also, I do want to point out Relax finally warded the Ancients, but there's already a triple stack for Envy, so not the biggest. Well, I say Envy. It could also be the Beastmaster who looks to farm them.
Yeah. So both sides with pretty comparable Ancient strats here, both stacking a little bit, both warding a little bit late. So all in all, underutilization of the Ancients across the board, I think, safe to say. RX smoked up in the Radiant jungle looking for an opening, but they won't find it. Cloud9 are busy grouping up in the mid lane, and look at this. They've got 6 of these little skeleton warriors here leading the charge, double Dark Troll summoners. This is great for pushing. The only thing better would be have a Wild Wing Ripper as that 3rd creep, but Holy Persuasion still only level 3.
It's up to the Bristleback. He's really the only one who could just charge in and start the fight, although Nyx will try. There's a Sentry Ward here. Dread gets off an Impale, only on AUI 2000. Now the arrow connects with Dread. He just melts. Not a good start, but Bone 7 has been doomed. And that's on this fight.
That'll secure the kill. Hand of God comes out. Lasso flies, but will be interrupted. Now Yoki taking some damage, and there's the Eclipse from Eternal Envy. Cleans up some creeps, but really a pretty underwhelming Luna ultimate. And this fight may just peter out as a 1-for-1.
Well, they know Eclipse is on cooldown now. Beastmaster Roar never got used. Doom is also on cooldown. Lasso's on cooldown, so both teams missing key spells. I'm guessing they'll both be content to back.
Yeah.
But the Doom, the Lasso, will cool down way before Eternal Envy's ult. And that's where, if Relax want to wait 1 minute, they can look to take a fight. There won't be any Eclipse, and Cloud9 will have to be very cautious to dodge that fight. They should probably try to scout out Relax and then just go push the other side of the map. If they get caught in that 1 minute window, no Eclipse, and the Doom and Lasso up, they could easily get 5-man wiped.
Yeah, now Cloud9 did do a lot of damage to this tower, though, and the Glyph is not going to be available for quite some while. So perhaps they could just press forward and finish off this tower and then rotate into the top lane, which would make that 1-for-1 exchange kind of a break-even that will favor Cloud9 a little bit in the long run. Other item pickups here following that fight. Ayasha did come out onto the Luna. EE also pretty close to level 11. There you go, wielding it with this camp. And that's a level 2 Eclipse that'll be online in the next team fight. That is definitely good news.
Yeah, the slight downside is that he's got a slightly longer time to wait, since if you use the level 1 Eclipse, you wait the 160 seconds. But
yeah, exactly.
More of an issue with like Skeleton Kane hold and not a significant issue with Luna.
Yeah.
Shadowblade on Doom.
Yeah, interesting. A space creation tool, and, well, just going to give him a little bit more of a presence here in the mid-game. I think very warranted. RX will smoke up, and they're hungry for blood. Bristleback has also gone back for a mech, so Vanguard into mech, I think that makes a lot of sense here. They need a mech to take these mid-game team fights that are undoubtedly going to come. Also, a Blink Dagger just picked up on the Beastmaster. Will get delivered via the courier here in just a second. So, more initiation coming out on both sides between the Shadowblade and the Blink.
Envy currently waiting near the big camp, but Firefly has ended, and they did manage to place an aggressive Observer Ward. Does Cloud9 know about it? They have 1 more Sentry in Pylai, and he's not dropped it, so they don't know.
EE needs to be a little careful here. Wow, he'll back up just in the nick of time. Doom ultimate available. But they're going to play this one a little bit more passive. They know Cloud9 have reinforcements nearby, and they won't press the issue. They did lose their tier 1 tower mid, though. Creeps finished it off. It wasn't denied. So all of that time wasted from Relax trying to use that smoke gank.
Wasted time. They knew the game plan was Eclipse is on cooldown. Let's force a fight. But unfortunately, Cloud9 just outplayed them, and the creeps did the work. And now they're just going to trade towers. Cloud9 could even potentially defend bottom. Glyph is available. Probably will just look to go for a 2-for-0 trade, though, since they have the Chen creeps top. you can't TP the Chen creeps in, so you'd be fighting without them. So we'll just see a tower trade here, I imagine.
Tower falls right away before Relax even get to this bottom tier 1, so it could end up being a 2-for-1 trade. Depending on how Relax want to handle this, they could opt to port back and try and make a defense. Putting some pressure on this tower. Cloud9 with a glyph. They won't use it. They'll just let the tower fall. Meanwhile, up top, they'll start chipping away at this tier 2. They've still got a lot of damage to go. Nyx Assassin is inbound with the Vendetta. Teammates nearby. Bone 7 blinks forward. That's a Primal Roar onto the Enchantress, but he won't have enough damage to finish her off. Rest of the team coming in. There's an Eclipse from Eternal Envy, and Sing Sing will take the Doom ultimate. Still no kills coming out. Sing Sing just going to stand his ground, recognizing he may be dead anyhow. Will end up falling to the Bristleback. All heal comes out from Chen, but it won't be enough to save Pylai dying. This is turning into a bit of a disaster for Cloud9.
Oh, Envy trying to TP out. They have a level death. They'll cancel the TP. Envy will fall. 3 heroes dead. Big victory for Relax. And on top of that, the Eclipse got used again. This time did nothing. They just did not expect Relax to defend. I think Cloud9 normally in this situation, it's like when, especially if they go for what they normally do, which is the faster farming builds, they'll just try and trade towers. They were not prepared for Relax to fully defend. Also, Beastmaster Roar used on Enchantress. Couldn't even kill the Enchantress. She's got Point Booster. She's got Urn. Windex is very tanky this early on.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been okay initiation if there was follow-up right there. Like if Luna had a Lucent Beam ready, maybe there was an arrow.
Yeah, but she was like back over here.
Yeah, and they could have just dropped the Enchantress, but exactly right. The team was here, and then Enchantress was somewhere down here, and they just weren't ready for that Bone 7 initiation. I think Cloud9 were under the impression that it was just a casual Enchantress nearby who was sort of looking to maybe pick somebody off on the retreat, but little did they know that the full team was nearby, and they paid for that hyper-aggression.
There's nothing casual about this, Bambi. Here they go into Roche. They'll use the goo. We'll break the Roche Lincoln Sphere, or spell block, and they can just start spamming the minus armor on him as the goo adds up, and it's a pretty easy Roche kill. Cloud9 really can't contest without Eclipse. I would be surprised. Maybe they go for an Age of Steel with like an arrow into a leap, but anything beyond that is very risky, and
you see Shotchlow on
they
the
just
high
kind of have
ground.
to give this up.
Yeah, good positioning from the Bat Rider, just posturing himself to grab somebody with a lasso in case they venture too close to the pit, and that will be enough to scare away Cloud9. An uncontested Roche, Bristleback the one to grab the Aegis of the Immortal, and he does have a mech complete, and now Casual Cloak probably just working into a pipe, a nice well-rounded tank build here for the Bristleback.
Yeah, Cloud9 should just at this point go into basically split push mode, rat mode if you will, and just hide in the trees. As soon as you see them show 3-4 heroes on the other side of the map, you start pushing there. Farm their woods when you know they're in your woods, and just dodge fights. Wait out the Aegis. Do not engage right now. If they engage now, it better be with amazing initiation, because otherwise they have a very hard time taking Relax in the 5v5 clash. So that's what I expect from Cloud9. And as for Relax, it's the opposite. They just want to force fights. Whether they can or not is the main issue. They have good initiation on some of these heroes, but I hear like Bristleback is just like forever chasing Mirana and Luna and trying to get in range. So we'll see. They have smoked up. They're going to try and make a play.
They certainly will. This is that time of the game when the Luna is just a little bit underwhelming. She's pretty good in the laning phase because she's got the burst damage from Lucent Beam. She's really good in the late game, but in this kind of mid-game window, she's just pretty susceptible.
Right, yeah. Susceptible is the perfect word. She does a ton of damage, but she's also very squishy. So we've seen great play from Pylai Dai so far, swapping to break the lasso, but there's just so much follow-up. They doomed the Mirana last fight. Imagine if they doomed the Luna. Like, good luck living through that. Maybe AUI can get off a send back at that point, but still Luna's out of the fight, and you're going to have a hard time winning. There's a big smoke gank from Cloud9. They'll get the high ground here. Oh, Relax. They could walk right into them. This could be bad.
This could be a disaster for Relax. They're not even all grouped up. They've got someone down in the bottom lane. I think it's the Doom. Yes, it is. And
Envy's in the front. He's got the Eclipse.
Bone 7 hops forward. They'll just try and drop Dread. This time they'll do it right. The arrow connects to finish him off, and now they'll just try to make the retreat. Dust flies. It will connect with a couple of them. Even though the Moonlight Shadows come out, Aoi 2000, he'll get left behind. He gets caught in the lasso, and they'll make it a 1-for-1. Nyx Assassin actually bought back for this, so if it's just a 1-for-1 trade plus the buyback, Cloud9 will come out ahead.
Yeah, that's advantage Cloud9. They also did not use Eclipse, and yeah, they'll be happy with that trade. Forcing out a buyback, getting a 1-for-1 trade, and most importantly, every precious second of Aegis time that is not used for Relax to force huge fights is a win for Cloud9. So they should just be looking to push the lanes out. Envy's pushing bottom. Sing Sing was pushing top. They'll stall. If Relax fully commit to his 5 mid, then you should just see Envy continue to split push. And if they don't, then he'll back off and look to just push out the mid lane and farm his Ancients.
Yeah. They did burn the lasso to make that kill possible, though. So right now, Cloud9 can feel a little bit more safe than they normally would, knowing that Batrider is offline. Triv, yeah, he gets smacked in the face by that Sacred Arrow, and that will harbor their pushing power a little bit. Glyph available for Cloud9. They'll go ahead and burn it. Wild Axes off the mark. RX sort of just looking for an opening here. Shotchlo kind of posturing like he has a lasso, but they're not going to fall for it, and ultimately Cloud9 will just sacrifice this tier 1 mid.
Oh, Eternal Envy, he wants this double damager in bottom, and it looks like nobody's going to find him in time. And yeah, pushing in the bottom lane with the illusions. They do lose the tier 1 mid, but it's a pretty acceptable loss. Like, you're going to lose you should lose at least 1 tower with the 5-man advantage that Relax has, and
yeah,
they're getting good trades. They're farming their cores, they're not dying on Envy. They haven't been dying on Sing Sing. This is not an ideal situation for Cloud9, but it's good damage control from them, and I still feel like Relax have more work to do.
Yeah.
Enchantress is pretty farm. She can be somewhat of a late-game semi-carry / damage dealer, but I mean, maybe I'm slightly underrating their late game. They do have the Enchantress. Doom's gone for more of a carry build.
Yeah.
And Bristleback's okay, but
I think
Cloud9's got just the mass aura stack, the dual core, and the freaking Luna, who's a harder carry than anyone else here. So
yeah, I think Cloud9 have a pretty solid carry edge, and also just because this Mirana had such a good time in the lane. She's number 3 on net worth right now, and I always like to think of Mirana as it was first explained to me that she can be a hard carry only if farm allows. She's not traditionally a hard carry, but if she has a good time in the laning phase, carries that momentum, she can get pretty scary with those right clicks. And she's well on her way. Phase boots, drums with a Maelstrom and an Aquila. She hits pretty hard right now, considering it's just a Mirana.
Yeah, it is just a Mirana though. He's not expected to be the big damage dealer, more of a secondary damage dealer. But another smoke gank from Lax. You can tell they know, with the Aegis ending fairly soon, that it's their time to force a fight, but Cloud9 are one step ahead of them. As I mentioned, they'll hide in the trees. Hide near the secret shop. They had 2 pushing top, now retreat all the way to the tier 2. They are just playing this super safe, super smart, and
and
as soon as they see no one come defend bottom, they'll probably start pushing here.
Yeah, I mean, even look down bottom, you see Eternal Envy as well as Aoi. They know they're off the map, and there could be a smoke gank anywhere. They'll hide in the trees. Smart play just all around. And
yeah, hide in the trees, man.
Yeah, it's legit.
HY. He knew what he's talking about at TI1.
Yeah, this is like classic Cloud9, though, in my mind. One thing that this team does really well and better than a lot of their other competition sort of on the playing field and the tier that they're in terms of competitive Dota is choosing when to take fights. And when Cloud9 are not looking to take fights, they are very elusive. They're so good at pushing lanes, but backing out as soon as things get a little bit sticky. As soon as the other team is missing off the map and there could be a smoke gank inbound, they're very good at calling it out, being cautious. And as I say that, Luna may get caught here by Shotchlo, but he's all by his lonesome.
Well, but they've got AUI, and if he jumps in on any lassos AUI, then Envy just eclipses and he dies. And if he goes onto the Luna, then AUI can just send him back, or even just stomp him. There was just no opening there. Aegis is now worn off, and Cloud9 are actually just about dead even in terms of gold. Experience slightly dire favored, so it's a very even game right now.
Yeah, but they're right back in it. Like you said, they're good at minimizing their losses, creating space for Luna, and they've done just that. Right now, Eternal Envy sitting on 4,200 gold. Rather curious to see what item he picks up next. If he wants the BKB, he can grab it. May just go straight into something a bit more aggressive, like a Butterfly.
Yeah, Butterfly's not bad. Maybe he goes...
Oh, there's the BKB.
Wow.
Interesting.
If there was ever a game where I'd be like, I don't know if you want BKB, it's probably this one, but...
Still useful.
There's Doom, there's Lasso. There is also the Impetus damage, which BKB will be effective against, so... I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how it works for him. At least maybe now he can get.
It's just interesting because Envy is known for not going BKB in games when most other carry players would, and this is a game where you could argue BKB isn't that good of a choice, and now he's going for it. So
yeah.
Well, it's still the slightly safer item overall. The other big option I think would be Satanic, but I do think he needs to tank up in some fashion. And BKB it still gives you HP, it gives you some strength. So.
Yep, absolutely. And now we could actually see a fight break out as Cloud9 have invaded the dire jungle. RX starting to move towards the top lane, but no, they will just disengage. Looks like Triv on the Bristleback working towards a Halberd, has himself the Sange. Could be an SNY, but Halberd seems to make a bit more sense here. Yoki did pick up his BKB on Doom
coming
as
towards
well.
mid, Bristleback could be caught.
Although there are reinforcements for Relax nearby, so if they take this fight, this will be just a full-on 5 versus 5 engage. And I don't know if Cloud9 are... I mean, they can definitely take a team fight here, but it won't be easy. Hawk on the high ground, or above the trees, rather, will actually get picked off by the bristles.
Dread's
coming in. Oh, no. There's the Primal Roar spent on top of the Spike Carapace. How unfortunate. Sacred Arrow connects onto Yoki. There's the ultimate from Eternal Envy as well as the Moonlight Shadow. They force out the mech from RX. Dread taking a lot of damage. He does fall to the Eclipse from Luna. And that will be a 1-0 to get things started. Doom ultimate still online. Nature's Attendants come out as well. But Cloud9, I think they'll be happy with their spoils. They'll just walk away in a 1-0 exchange.
Yeah, that was decent for both teams. Eclipse was used. Cloud9 threw a lot just to get a single kill in the Nyx. And at the same time, it's like, will Relax be able to capitalize on it? Can they actually force a fight on the back of Eclipse being down? At this point, it gets harder and harder. Luna pushes faster than she did before. It's not just the Luna and the Mirana. It's also AUI 2000 who can send creeps into the lanes, start farming the enemy woods. But Relax, make no mistake about it, they want to be making things happen, forcing engagements, and setting up for the next Roche on the back of that. But I don't know if they'll be able to do it. They have an Observer Ward here. They have seen Eternal Envy, but Firefly about to end. Oh, this could be a good opening, though. Envy's on the run. He doesn't have a TP scroll either, but I don't know if they can catch him without the Firefly.
He doesn't have BKB for another 15 seconds, so he'll find a spot in the trees here.
This is like the best opportunity they're going to have for some time to kill Envy, but I don't know if they'll see where he went. Firefly's cooling down, though. If Shade Show just pops it now, they're going to find him.
And taking a look at the dire vision, he's completely fogged, and wow,
oh,
he comes
Envy.
out. Oh, no. He was safe. They had no idea where he was, but Lasso gets burned. BKB is now up. Is there a chance that he could survive here? Will he burn the BKB? Support is inbound. BKB gets popped, and maybe Envy can actually survive this. AUI 2000's here. There's the send back.
Wow.
Well done.
BKB dodges the Nyx stun and lives, and that was without a TP scroll. If he had one, I mean, I guess they do have some ways to cancel it, but he would have just gotten out. So, well played by Envy. And space created.
Yeah, the rest of the team will pressure the tier 2 mid. I don't think Sing Sing will be able to finish it off, but does pretty significant damage. Will make it just an easy push later on. And look at this double tornado from the Wild Wing Rippers. They want some lane control here in the mid, and they will find it.
So annoying.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage. This is one of those things that it's very easy to underestimate. I put the tornadoes in the same bracket that I put the Enigma Eidolons. You look at them and go, oh, that's not too scary, and then you stand in it for a few seconds and realize, holy shit, these things do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they do.
And, well, RX will just move straight into the Roche pit.
They've gone for Mjolnir on Sing Sing. It looks like they're also building a Lincoln Sphere on Bone 7. Well, maybe it's a Scythe, but I think they just want to make this like the fattest Luna possible. All the auras, the Mjolnir buff, and Arrow comes in. Will connect on Yoki in the pit. Could be a bad fight for Relax. Eclipse is up. All critical abilities are up for Cloud9. I don't know if they need to worry about giving Relax Roche, but they may try to stop it anyway.
Well, no, they won't. They'll just settle for the tier 2 tower mid. And I thought they'd have a good opening there because Nyx Assassin actually wasted his Spike Carapace on those Manta Illusions. So that could have been a pretty big opening to hop in and maybe just burst down the Nyx. But they don't go for it. They'll just take the tower and I guess just not too afraid of the Aegis. It didn't really do much for Relax last time, so...
Yeah, it's kind of like this. If Cloud9 have Aegis, it's a big problem for Relax because they can use that to try and break the base. If Relax have it, they can use it potentially in a protracted team fight to win the fight. But
yeah,
do Cloud9 have to fight? If they play their cards right, they don't. So Relax, still pressure on them to make things happen. And it is a Scythe for Bone 7. So Blink, Phase, Scythe. This is scary. He can blink in, Scythe one, roar the other, and suddenly Relax could just lose 2 heroes before the fight even begins.
This is such a Bone 7 build. Not something that you would like think about on paper as, oh yeah, that classic blink into Scythe of Ice build on Beastmaster, but it works really well in this game. It gives them really keen initiation. Now he can hop in and save his ultimate perhaps for something else and open with the Scythe. So, an all-around just good build, and one thing that Cloud9 do lack a little bit in this draft is hard lockdown, so...
Yeah, they've just got the Venge stun and the Roar, and I guess Arrow, but you can't really count on that.
Yeah, so I like this choice. I think it's a nice, innovative pickup.
Yeah, there's things like Ags, which are, in theory, like, more reliable and kind of your standard item choice. It gives you the better range on the Roar, but end of the day, this means you have 2 instant, reliable lockdowns in a team fight. Sure, you don't have one that's super spammable in the Ags, but I think it's a worthwhile choice overall. And yeah, ultimately for Cloud9, it's just going to come down to getting off good initiations, having good positioning. Relax are the lineup that just wants to be disruptive, get into your back lines, just pick heroes off left, right, and center. But Cloud9, after the laning stage, where they got caught out a few times, have not really made positioning errors, and it just makes it hard for Relax. You don't want to go late game against a Luna this big. Sure, you have Doom, sure you have Lasso, but there's lots of ways to keep her safe, and Sling Sling's getting big as well. So it's a dual core lineup, a lot of single target lockdown.
Yeah. You know, I'm
Tough
really,
position for Relax.
I'm really surprised that we have 11 kills in 32 minutes, and what's more surprising about it is it doesn't really feel like this game is
Eternal Envy makes his move into the enemy woods. They have seen him. He has no backup. He has the Aegis as well. Oh, the swap is there, and they end up dooming the Venge. I think he clicked on where the Luna was right as the swap happened.
Yep.
They did not need a Doom to kill her, but
well done by Pylai Dai, though. That was like perfect sacrificial lamb play where he hopped in, and at the end of the day, that's a good bit of cooldowns wasted, and
yeah,
they get a kill on Venge. It's just a kill on a support, not a big deal.
It's almost worth it for the insurance of now you don't have to worry about that happening to Envy.
Yeah.
And
well, down for another 70 seconds. Yeah. That's a victory.
That would have been a big kill.
Wow.
5k gold. They do have Aegis for 3 minutes, so I think Relax will have one more good opportunity. Assault Crest / Shivas will come out for Yoki. Not sure what the correct choice is here. I kind of feel like Shivas, but we'll see. Mystic Step. Okay, looks like he will go Shivas.
Okay.
I mean, main reason is just that they need a little more, just like, in general, Relax need to chase. They want to chase with Goo, Napalm, Firefly, Quills. They want to just have a prolonged team fight, and Shivas is just good for slowing everyone and like setting up that AoE damage. Yeah. So I think it's a good choice.
It looks like Bristle will be going for the Assault Kuros. He's got himself a plate mail. His farm is decent. He did complete that Halberd that we were talking about. So Shriv he's in okay shape, and having the Assault Kuros will synergize with their team pretty well. BOT's now up on the Bat Rider. Looks like he'll be on his way to a BKB before too long with that Ogre Club already in tow.
Relax do have some access to late game since it seems like it's headed there. I've been slightly downplaying their late game. As mentioned, all of these heroes are decent there. They have very tanky heroes, which is good against Luna. You can deal with the Eclipse damage, still live to fight a bit. Bristleback will go for AC. Doom has gone for more of the hard carry build.
Oh, look at this. Scotty on the Luna. That's a double ultimate orb sitting on the Courier.
Yeah, she just wants to tank up to live through the Doom. That's pretty much the goal here for Envy. So, Scotty, one of the most cost-efficient HP items. And on top of that, like, you get Satanic, but what good does Satanic do you when you're doomed and can't use it? So yeah, I like this choice. He can go back for Satanic next, and then Butterfly can be his 6th item, along with like Boots of Travel. So I think it's the way to go here.
Yeah, I like Butterfly here as well because Relax don't have a ton of stuff to deal with the evasion. They don't have a good MKB carrier. They don't have any hexes, so it wouldn't be a bad choice. But yeah, Scotty just makes him nice and beefy, and against Doom, it's a good choice as well because you just need that max HP buffer, so you can try and survive the damage over time from the Doom ultimate. Solid choice all around. And also, Envy is level 17. He is the highest level in this game, and of course that does mean a level 3 Eclipse is online. And look at this army of Wild Wing Rippers here. He's got 3 of those big purple birds. Pink birds, whatever color they are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the
big
plan
birds
is,
indeed.
Yeah.
Somebody loves like Sesame Street, but
Big Bird's ugly.
little color refresh, I guess.
Yeah, it's Big Bird's extended
Did they have Sesame Street in Canada, or is that an American only thing?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
I think it was like an internationally like syndicated show with subtitles or translations for multiple languages.
Pretty iconic. I would be surprised if that was an American only kind of deal. I mean, why wouldn't the Canadians want to get their hands on?
Canada's basically the 51st state anyway, so
it's a big state.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, where do you think we get all our natural resources from?
Yeah.
Alaska can't do everything on their own.
Alaska, you're big, but not big enough. We need Canada.
Yeah.
BKB
Little America.
Little America, yeah. BKB up on the Bat Rider now, and he also has a double damage rune, as well as a gem. So Shotchlo, he's got pretty much anything he could ever want at this point. And now the Mirana starting to get a little scarier. We mentioned that Mjolnir that Sing Sing picked up, and just hanging on to that Yasha, probably a Manta style coming out next.
Throwing the Mjolnir buff on Envy is going to be super annoying for Relax, especially since he's gone tank build. They throw Mjolnir buff on, just the Mjolnir active on him, and all of a sudden you start focusing him, your whole team's taking a ton of lightning damage. They have some tanks, but heroes like Nyx, especially, maybe the Bat and Enchantress, won't be too happy.
Yep. Now the Aegis has despawned. Cloud9 know this.
And they're smoking.
Yep, they've got a 5-man smoke.
And they do have some good vision here with the Hawk. Relax. They do have the high ground advantage, though.
Yep, this is the Radiant Vision right now, so they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Dread, he'll just get obliterated before this fight starts. Enchantress actually took over the Hawk to get rid of their vision, but yeah, we see just Cloud9 in a great position now. Nyx Assassin, he does not have buyback. So this will be a 5v4 for the next 30 seconds. Can they find anything else?
Yeah, relax. I'm a little surprised that Dread ran in like that. Sure, Cloud9 were smoked, he didn't see them, but they also knew the Hawk was right there giving vision. So you have to be a little bit cautious, but yeah, nice initiation by Cloud9. The Hex, the easy kill.
Yep. And they will back out. Wild Wings just doing work there. We saw that triple tornado cleaning up the creep wave.
Double damage.
Oh boy. What an interesting use of Chen creeps. Well, we'll see a smoke.
Cloud9 just want to wait for the next Roche. They don't really want to fight now, even though they probably are at a point where they can win it. Just try and get the lanes pushed in, maybe find a pickoff, and then take that.
They might not have a choice here. Shachlo hops forward. He'll grab Pylai Die. You can't swap yourself. The all heal from Chen will buy the Venge a little bit of time. Forces out the BKB onto the Bat Rider. Eclipse comes from Eternal Envy, and they'll get some kills here. Chen falls, but Enchantress and Doom get picked off. Now the Bat Rider on the defensive. Impale off the mark from the Nyx Assassin. He'll blink back as well. Bone 7 hops forward. That's the Primal Roar. And see you later, Bat Rider. The gem will hit the ground. It'll get pinged out. They should be able to come back for it. And now Rax will be under pretty heavy pressure.
And the wave's pushed in, so Rax are exposed.
Double buyback.
I do not know why he doomed the Chen. Sure, they can send Envy back if you don't doom the Chen, but then Envy's out of the fight. He dooms the Chen, Envy gets off his Eclipse, pops the Manta, pops BKB, uses all of his abilities, and fight was over. They have to doom Envy. They can't not doom him.
Yeah.
That lost them the fight. I don't know if he actually had vision of Envy, but he should be looking for him, not just casually throwing out a doom on the Chen.
Yeah, it was a good. I think it was a good call for Shachlo to try and grab the Vengeful Spirit. He's been.
Yeah, that was good because if he doesn't grab her, she breaks the lasso.
Yeah, Pylai Die's been on point with that as well. He's already broken a couple lassos this game, so I think that was the right call. But it's sort of one or the other. You need to shut down the Chen or shut down the Vengeful Spirit with the lasso. Using the Doom on Chen.
The Doom has to be reserved for Luna.
And he also got the Chen ultimate off before Doom came out. The all heal flew that fight. So that was also a big reason as to why that was just not a good use of Doom. If you can lock down the Chen before he gets the ultimate off, maybe you can make a case for it. Still not ideal. But
I think even then they can't kill Envy quickly without it. They don't have that much physical damage, and Envy can pop Manta style, BKB, Eclipse, and Relax don't really want to stand against that. So I think even then you probably just want to doom the Luna regardless, unless she's like on the other side of the map.
Yeah, now look at the use of the tornadoes here. This is going to be 3 tornadoes in the pit. Somebody call Bill Paxton. We've got a Twister. And we'll see some initiation come out. Dreg gets sheep straight away. Primal Roar comes out onto Windex. Doom will get used on Luna, but BKB's already out, and he'll just stand his ground. He's right-clicking away. Enchantress and Doom will both fall. They bought back. This should be an easy roast for the Radiant side. Chen will actually finish off the Nyx Assassin. And, yeah, the Twisters will be successful here, LD. Looks like they didn't tie themselves down to the pipes.
This might be game, I want to say. Well, they'll get the Aegis here. They can push through. They'll push it. They'll probably go heal, look to push out the lanes, and Relax are losing fights without an Aegis, and Cheese. In fact, when they've had the Aegis, they're still breaking even or losing fights. Now you give Cloud9 Aegis and Cheese. I wish them all the best, but they need some luck here, Andrew. This could well be game, and with that, Cloud9 will seize control of their own destiny and have no matter what, they'll at least get to play a tiebreak match and try to work their way into the Starladder Land Finals. So, not over yet, but very, very difficult from here for Relax. They just did not hit their timing windows. Cloud9 had the better initiation, and there was a few misplays in the fights, and now they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Cloud9 is just not the team that I would want to draft. We have to take some fights in the mid-game, because they just did such a good job avoiding fights. We see Nyx Assassin hop in, but he just gets destroyed straight away, and now he's at critical mass. He's got himself a Butterfly after the Scotty, BKB, Manta, and Helm of the Dominator.
Look at those glaives. What a ridiculous ability. Just bouncing everywhere.
Oh, nice Force Staff on the Enchantress. She will not get hit by the arrow, but Structure's just getting destroyed.
This is the entire base dies. This is like the like it effect late game. You lose one team fight, it's the Tony Wisp combo, the same type of thing. Just the entire base dies. You can't defend against Luna either with the bouncing glaives, and that'll be it.
There's an Eclipse. Unfortunately for Luna, there will be a BKB out onto Yoki. He'll survive for now, but now Sing Sing joining the battle. The right clicks lining up, and Doom just can't stand the heat. So he'll get out of the kitchen. He'll take a bath in the well, and there you go. GG, well played.
Glaives apparently keep on bouncing even after Doom. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like you still get the glaives. Some passives get disabled, but apparently not glaives.
Yeah, glaives too strong, and that's why Luna can just stand her ground like that. He dooms you, and once you hit that kind of critical mass in that last Roche fight, he's happy just to get those right clicks off.
Well, I think well played by Cloud9 in the end, and Relax just didn't get enough done in the mid game. They went for Nyx, Batrider, Doom. We never really saw the Bristleback get used. Bristleback, ideal scenario for him is you're just 5-manning at towers at like the 10 to 20 minute mark. Cloud9 dodge fights, Relax can force them, and that was pretty much the story of the game.
Yeah, exactly right. Not much more to it. So that's good news for Cloud9. That was their last match of this group stage. And as LD pointed out, they'll have a chance. There are still some things hanging in the balance. Most notably, it is Na'Vi. They still have a lot of matches to go. There will be 3 Na'Vi games tomorrow. Then on the very last day, there will be the final Na'Vi matchup. So
since Cloud9 wins now, there's 2 scenarios where they just go to the finals. That's if Na'Vi loses more than 1 game, and Rock's Kiss something just doesn't matter what happens with Rock's Kiss. Then they just go to the LAN finals. If Rock's Kiss wins their 1 remaining match and Na'Vi loses 1 game, then Cloud9 also goes. The only way there's a 3-way tiebreaker is if Rock's Kiss loses their next match, which is quite possible to Empire. I'd say maybe that's slightly more likely. Cloud9 already won theirs, and then Na'Vi wins out. So Sigma's probably going to forfeit. In theory, Na'Vi should beat the other team. So I think the most likely scenario now actually becomes the 1-1-1 tie.
Okay.
Well, Rock's Kiss Empire is probably like a 50-50 match. Empire hasn't been playing as good lately. Rock's Kiss has looked really strong.
Yeah, that'll be a really interesting game, actually. And
I think the 1-1 tie is... The 3-way tie is quite likely, which would mean Na'Vi, Cloud9, and Alliance are all fighting for those final 2 spots.
Yeah, and glancing at the schedule, which I don't have open since I reset the computer, so never mind. I'm pretty sure that Rock's Kiss Empire game is coming up on the...
It's the last day.
It's the final day. So tomorrow are the 3 Na'Vi games, and that's it. Then the last day there could be still... So this group stage will actually come down to that final day.
Yeah.
Where some
Get your popcorn.
Yeah, get ready. So our next match will be starting in about 15 minutes, guys. We've got 1 game left today, and it is Ahead versus the Retry. So basically a relegation match coming up. And we'll see what these teams have in store for us, guys.
See you soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.